All right, part 2 with the solar plexus. This is where you're going to find where you have a lot of leaks in your belief systems. So think about it because it's your stomach. This is where we digest things. This is where we digest life. This is where people get things like eczema from, and leaky gut, and constantly having the inability to digest their food in some type of way. This all comes from the solar plexus. Again, this is fire. This is your digestive Agni. So if you're somebody who's really struggling with anything to do with digestion, and again, that does manifest as different skin conditions, anything like that, it's going to show up in this chakra. Now, I used to own a nutrition store for like 8 or 9 years, brick and mortar, and I used to help coach people consistently on their health. And the number one thing I will tell you is that everybody who has anything in relation to leaky gut, it's because there's something within their own identity that is literally leaking through. And there's something that they are not integrating within their own identity. And there's a lot of emotions that are stuck in the body that they are not processing properly. And so this will begin to get peeled away because Shakti wants you healed and whole. And so you're doing all this deconstructing in these lower chakras, and now you're moving up. You're moving up to digest everything that you just purged. And this is where you're going to be asked, do you want to be remaining the victim of life? Do you want to remain a victim of these circumstances? What are your mindsets around this right now? Is it still everybody is doing this to me, everybody is against me? This is going to come up so much during this process because, again, this is where your belief systems are of who you are. And this manifests so many ways for us women because we are taught to be a certain way since we are little. And the true feminine energy has nothing to do with the patriarchal concepts that are put upon us, trust me. And so every single time you decide to step more into an identity outside of that, old religious beliefs are going to pop up and they're going to manifest in the material realm. Old beliefs that you have about money, that you have about love, that you have about you being accepted by the other in some type of way. Self-worth, that's all going to be here. And you will be tried with that. These will be obstacles that you need to overcome. But everything that happens in your Maya is just to reflect back to you your current belief patterns that you are still holding. And here in fire, it's asking you to digest all of that, to process it, to burn it into a fine ash so that it's no longer stopping you in creating the life that you want. While yes, the sacral is about creation because this is where we literally make human life, but this is a very karmic creation. This is a very unconscious creation. This is where we create from our conscious mind. So this is where we have to actually identify these patterns moving forward so that we can literally break up with them. This is where you're going to step fully into that new identity. This is where you're going to have to create boundaries. You're going to have to do it with family. You're going to have to do it with friends. If you're a mother, you're going to have to do it with your children. And that's one of the hardest things for us moms. Situations will appear that are going to try to reprove to you your own mindsets. See, you believe this way, but look at what's happening. It's actually how you used to think is how the truth is. And you have to know the difference. You have to be like, you got to turn that gas up and you got to get that fire going again. You got to take that sword back out and be like, no, I'm cutting this away. This is not a part of me. And I'm going to keep going. As counterintuitive as it feels, sometimes things feel counterintuitive because you're so locked into it being one way. But this is what the incinerator's for. This is what the cremator is for. Bhairavi has the radiance of 10,000 suns. And so when you are in this chakra working, this is where your sun is. This is where you become radiant. This is where you become magnetic and you start drawing life to you. This is where you shine in your truth of who you are. And everything starts to magnetize to you that is of that energy. And so every time these things start to actually come towards you, you're going to feel a little bit of discomfort. You will literally feel it in your body because you're not used to it. This is actually a very, very financial chakra. And so a lot of issues that you have around money and making money will come up here, I guarantee you. And when these new opportunities come, are you going to be able to digest it? Are you going to be able to trust yourself enough to operate in your new identity that you can do it? That you can do what you have set out to do in this life? Can you step into that discomfort and take everything in that's coming towards you and actually process it here and make it nutrition for the body instead of it just sitting there and becoming a toxin? This is where you have to officially break up with victimhood. This is where you have to fully step into your power. And this is really, really hard. Because again, women are consistently told that they need to remain powerless because patriarchy runs on the victim savior concept. And this is where you realize you don't need saving, that you are your own savior, that there is no rescuing. Now, this doesn't mean that you're actually in this chakra. You will meet a lot of people that want to help you, that want to move you forward. And you will actually start being like, okay, I need to allow different types of relationships in. I need to allow people to take care of me if you have a problem with this. But the steps forward are on you. It's on you to keep saying, I am the victor, not the victim, and that nobody is going to rescue you out of anything. And it's all about you changing and arranging your life. This is where restructuring happens, because you haven't restructured shit yet. You've completely annihilated your root. You have no stability. Now you had your unconscious purge. You realize you're your own fucking problem. But now it's like, let's create stability. And this is where stability is created. And it's going to be done in the new identity. So I go over this in the 7-day shadow work challenge. If you're not ready for Pathway to Bliss yet, the 7-day shadow work challenge is literally how to go through this and integrate with that new identity. 7 days, 7 different things for you to go through so that you can actually do this work rather quickly, but it's not very quick because you're going to have to continually do it. But this is where you get to live life from your authenticity. And nothing fucking feels better than that. How much longer can you go on living through everybody else's projected Maya of who they want you to be? This is where you're going to cut out all of that toxicity, because it will literally make you sick to your stomach to be anybody but you.